I know I've been away. I am very sorry. But this week I'm off, so I have more plans to do videos. And as you can see, new background. I am recording in my kitchen. I don't know why. I just felt like it would be a little bit different to a very bland bit of my bedroom that I usually record in. So obviously I've missed out on quite a bit of news. I'm going to start off with the biggest one. I will do a separate video on the Andretti um, appeal, but instead we're going to be talking about the new race directors and obviously the FIA getting rid of Michael Masi. So, and this will probably give me a chance to give my opinion on Abu Dhabi, which I did have a video recorded, but I thought it was pretty bad. So, getting rid of Michael Masi, I think that was fairly inevitable. However, the way it was done, I think this it was them. I think it's the FIA not giving themselves. I think they clearly knew that Michael Masi had done something wrong, and at where the way it was done, obviously, like just after the Ferrari launch, like why would you why would you do that? I think it would be really funny if Mercedes would, they waited a day and Mercedes got to announce it. I think that would have been very funny. But yeah, I think the way it was done, I think they obviously did try to brush it. I do think they tried to brush it under the rug. And did it work? No, because I think everyone was going to pick up on this. So the way it was done, and them getting rid of Massey, they didn't. That is them implying that he did something wrong, which he did, because that's not how the safety car is supposed to be operated. Now, I know there's the whole thing about, the race director overruling how the safety car was used, but still, by the rules that were written, that shouldn't have happened. And obviously, it allowed Verstappen to win the championship. This isn't me complaining like I'm a salty Hamilton fanboy. Because I'm not. I would have. I've said this countless times. I would have been fine whoever won the championship. If Hamilton won it, great. Eighth world title, and he's beaten Schumacher. Mad, fair play and massive respect to Hamilton. Verstappen won, cool. We've got the first Dutch F1 champion, not the first world championship from any event, because that honour goes to Nick de Vries from Formula E. Anyway, so yeah, them getting rid of Massey, I believe they are gonna offer him a new role in the FIA, something to do with safety, from what has been reported. Yeah, look, Massey getting rid of Massey, that was the right fit. Look, this isn't to do with just Abu Dhabi. But Abu Dhabi was the cherry on top of the cake, if you will, because there were so many mistakes that Michael Massey had made, like Saudi Arabia, like the bargaining with just the whole Saudi Arabian Grand Prix and how that was handled. That was a bit of a mess. What was it? Azerbaijan. Not the restart, because I think that was actually quite fair. I think it was wet. I think the whole when Verstappen has puncture and them taking God knows how long to put yellow flags. Well, a safety car, yet alone yellow flags out. That was quite a big red flag. And there's a load of other stuff that he's done wrong, like Turkey 2020 sending cars out when there was still a track on the track. We've seen what can happen. The extreme of what that can happen with Jules Bianchi. So yeah, just a lot of errors, and Abu Dhabi was just the icing on the cake, or cherry on cake, whichever analogy you would like to use. So who have they got to replace him? So they've got Niels Vitic. I really do hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Who is the race director from DTM, and we have Eduardo Freitas, who is the race director from WEC, World Endurance Championship. Now, from what I've read, these guys are very, very good at what they do, especially Eduardo Freitas. In fact, I could be wrong on this, but there was a change.org petition, which they always go down so well, and always, they always seem to work. That's me just whipping on change.org petitions, not Freitas himself. Eduardo Freitas, he doesn't put up with any shit. Which is the problem that Michael Masi had, is that I feel Masi was very weak-willed and was very timid, easily swayed, and I think Red Bull and I imagine everyone, every team principal, would have had some influence over what they say, because with race directors, and this is with referees in any sport, you need to have respect of the drivers or players or whatever sport. You need you need support of, people who play the sport, number one. You need the support of the team managers, team principals, and you also need the respect of the fans. Now, obviously, after Abu Dhabi, it wasn't just Mercedes complaining about how it was dealt with at the end. Um, you had people like McLaren, had Carlos, Lando, Stroll, just basically everyone who that affected, because obviously Sainz couldn't get onto the back and challenge for a race win. Or would he? Would he want to get involved with that scrap at the front if, that didn't happen? If it didn't play out? So, yeah, and obviously Ricardo could have played a big part in that if they had gone race, if, cars were allowed to overtake a lap before they should have been able to. Anyway, so Freitas doesn't take any shit from anyone, which is good, even though there's going to be no FIA team radio broadcast live, and the team principals can ask questions in the correct manner about why such decisions were taken. And then Wittig, I do believe he was supposed to, he was supposed to be the deputy race director for this year anyway. So yeah, so two race directors. So Brightweiser, who have they got? So if they're having two race directors, are they both going to be attending all? No, it's going to be alternate. We don't know currently who is doing which race. We don't know how it's going to be alternating. But they do have Herbie Blash, who is the senior advisor to the race directors now. For those who don't know who Herbie Blash is, he was deputy race director under Charlie Whiting. And then sadly, Charlie Whiting passed away just before the Australian Grand Prix in 2019. Yeah, it's 2019. So that's a good idea. That's a good idea from the FIA. They've restructured after Spa as well. They've also restructured the points in terms of, obviously, Spa, very controversial last year, what happened there. So they've sorted that out, made it unnecessarily confusing, because so basically what you need to know is the two racing laps, so green racing laps, nothing under the safety car like they did at Belgium to get a race result. What they've done is, so two racing laps that classifies as a race. So no virtual safety car, no safety car. This has to be two green laps under racing for them to classify that as a race. And then they've made it unnecessarily confusing with the whole points and how they've worked it out. And it's so confusing that when I read it, I was like, what the fuck are they doing? So that's very interesting of what they've done. And also, before I forget, because I actually forgot, this just popped back in my mind. In order to aid the race directors, they're doing they've got a separate panel. Kind of works how VAR works in football, I'm led to believe. So I believe it's going to work like that. And I think that's pretty much it for all the big changes. So in summary, Michael Masi, it was the right thing to get rid of him. Could it have worked with Masi still being at the helm? Yes, of course. He just needed more people around him. That was I think that was a big problem with Michael Massey is that he didn't have anyone around him. He was being, constantly, being talked to by, Toto Wolff, just, Christian Horner and Toto Wolff, all of the team principals, but mainly those two. At the same time, I mean, obviously, I'm sure we've all heard I would say recently released, but it was there in the public eye since the 16th of December and only came out just before the Red Bull launched their livery. I was going to say their car, but they didn't launch their car. That's currently, as I'm recording this, going around pre-season testing is happening currently as I'm recording this. So, yeah, them being lobbied, well, Michael Masi being lobbied all the time, you know, he needs more people around him, and obviously, you a race director, someone can't manage 23 races, and although apparently, according to F1 Twitter, they could all be race directors. I actually love to see how that goes. Put someone who random on F1 Twitter who's saying I could do a better job than Masi, have them be race director for like a race or two. I'd love to see how that goes because then they'd be getting roasted by everyone on F1 Twitter for making all the poor decisions. So that's the end of this video. Michael getting rid of Michael Masi, that was inevitable, and I think they've got a decent structure going forward. And we'll just have to see how it plays out. Obviously, getting Freitas in. From what I've read, he has the respect of the drivers, and he's got the respect of fans basically already, which is a very good step. Vitek, I don't really know too much about, but I doubt he'd take as much shit as well. But I've heard a lot more about Eduardo Freitas rather than Niels Vitek, so I think it's a step in the right direction. And I shall see you in the next video, which will probably be my video going on about the Andretti application, seeing if they could get into F1 or not. So I shall see you in the next video, guys, and I shall see you next time. I just repeated myself twice. If you do like this video, colour in the button, the like button. If you want to colour in the dislike button, feel free. I have to go out my way to go see the dislikes anyway. And make sure you change the colour of the subscribe button, because whatever colour that is now, that'd be greatly appreciated as well. And until next time, I shall see you in the next one. Goodbye.